Does Gino have a mystery love interest that's been around since he was at university? Will he revert to type and get back with her now Jasmine's out of the picture? And what does my fellow creator Mary from a.k.a. and Kibitz make of it all? To answer this and many more questions, allow me to take us back to the beginning. Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. It's time to grab your deerstalker and pipe as we take a shot of vintage Gino with a splash of Jasmine. On today's show, I'm joined by the delightful Mary as we walk through some intriguing information about one of Gino's early loves and how she's followed him and left him. Did they have a shared business interest? And how did she feel about all those sugar babies? All this and more right here on the Lawd Lukan channel.
Oh, that was the best. That was the best.
Good evening, bonsoir, and what up to you? Big loves to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people. And a pot of Earl Grey to the lords and ladies of the Lukan Manor. As you may notice, mon petit pois, I like to chuck a whole bunch of research into my videos. And sometimes it's good and, sometimes it's just a double nothing burger with extra cheese. So today I've got a little something different for you. Mary from a.k.a. and Kibitz is going to pop over to the manor for a spot of tea and crumpets to help me figure it all out and to see if Gino's mystery lover will be back and what else I've uncovered. So for that, we're going to go over to the manor now to catch up with me. Thank you, me, and a huge welcome to the manor. And to accomplish this task, I'm going to enlist the help of an OG reality reviewer and a fountain of tea. So please do give a warm Lukan Manor welcome to the glorious Mary, a.k.a. a.k.a. and Kibitz. Hello, how are you doing? How's you?
Good. How are you, Lord? Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. Now, this isn't the first time you've been to the manor. We have, of course, met before. I believe you were here just after the Mocha Blast episodes.
Yes, the good old Mocha Blast days, yes.
And for those that don't quite remember that, it was, of course, Mr. Mocha Blast came on and was interviewed and decided to shoot a man dead during the interview. And then it turned out he was a big romance scammer. And then you went ahead and spoke to some of his victims, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I actually did a whole 4-part series about it and spoke to a bunch of his victims. And you, as a matter of fact, had Mr. Mocha Blast on your channel and brought some of the victims on to confront him.
Yeah, we ambushed him, didn't we? We got him back a little bit, didn't we? There.
Yes, we did.
So we got him. Are you kind of surprised though that wasn't picked up a little bit more by the media and stuff like that?
Yes, I was actually. I was really surprised that wasn't picked up more because it was a really big story. Lots of victims, a whole Facebook group dedicated to it with hundreds and hundreds of members. He was on all sorts of Facebook groups. Do you know this guy? And people would be posting him and asking about him and, the stories being told. So, yes, I was really surprised it wasn't picked up more.
Yeah. In fact, my sister's friend was in the gym one day and she was watching like daytime TV and she'd text my sister, I've just seen your brother on TV. And I was like, why? There's no meat for me. And then on British TV, there was a woman in London that had a very similar experience. And she was telling her story on there. So it actually went, transatlantic. But nobody really picked it up, which really would have given us the chance to nail him, wouldn't it?
I know. Yes, it would have. It would have. Yeah.
So the reason why I have you here today, of course, is that we are going to take you through some interesting factoids that I have assembled with the objective of taking a closer look at early man Gino. And we're going to trace his pre-90-day life and reveal a little mystery love interest and whether or not he may just revert to type now that, of course, Jasmine is more or less out of the picture. I think because he does, I'll go into this in a bit, but he does seem to be the kind of guy that holds on to his exes very, very closely. Do you think?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
And of course, we had he kept the napkin from Denise, didn't he? For example, which Jasmine, of course, went pretty crazy about.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So, in order to do this, what we're going to do is I'm going to take you back to the 80s. Oh yes, the glorious time of the Earth going on. I've got to ask a question. What did you look like in the 80s?
I was in junior high school in the 80s.
Did you crimp? Were you crimped?
Was I crimped? Probably, yes. Probably, yeah, crimped, hair kind of high, yeah.
I should have got you to bring some pictures
I know.
so that we can compare notes. I had a pretty tragic mullet back in those days,
Yeah.
so you know it was. We've all got some shame,
Right,
that we
exactly,
need
yes.
to get through. So we must be of similar. I won't obviously ungentlemanly for me to ask, but we must be of a very similar generation.
Yes,
So,
we are.
yes, good. So yes, as we go, so we're going all the way back into the 80s. In fact, we're going back to 1989. To start off with, Gino, of course, is starting his career in college. He is off at. It's a good job I'm recording it, not doing it live, isn't it? So I can make these mistakes. It's all fine. So he is then at Oakland University doing his degree in engineering.
Yeah.
Is it a surprise to you that a man like Gino has such a degree?
Actually, from speaking to his family, because I've had an opportunity to speak to his uncle Marco on several occasions and his sister Lisa, he was always the smart kid. So to me, that it's kind of not surprising, honestly, that he has a degree in something like engineering because he was
Right. So sort of
smart, nerdy kid growing up, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, I see Gino as the type that's really smart on like certain things, but dumb when it comes to dealing with people and like society. You know what I mean? But like when it comes to certain subjects, Gino is super, super smart.
Mm. Do you reckon he's got, sort of whether Asperger's or the sort of
Yes,
autism kind of
yes,
spectrum?
yes, I do. Yes, I do. Somewhere on the spectrum, he was probably not diagnosed as a kid because I don't know if you and your viewers know this, but Gino's mom died when he was very young, I think around 8. And
Right.
his dad just kind of had a hard time like dealing with the death of his wife and the kids and so I spoke to his oldest sister Lisa, and she talked about how she kind of tried to step into the mother role and stuff. So I could see Gino might be somewhere on the spectrum, but because of all of the drama going on and mom passing away, he was never probably diagnosed. That's my opinion.
So do you think then that leads to why he holds so tightly onto his
Yeah.
relationships with women?
Yes, I do.
Right.
And why he goes for a certain type of woman because he feels safe and that's his comfort zone.
Interesting. Well, we'll come to that. Now it is, of course, in 1992 where he meets a young woman. We're going to call her Beth, because that's her name, which is handy. And they move in together in an address. I'm going to pop here. Now, it's going to be pictures up there.
Okay. Yes.
That's just what that is. Yeah, point it there. These pictures. Pictures. I'd make a terrible weatherman.
Me too. Yeah.
Oh, but how is it though? I saw you posted pictures of floods. Is everything all right? Are you okay?
Yes, everything's okay. Just unfortunately, Lord, when it rains in New York City, just the way the sewer systems are and everything now, things just flood every single time.
Right.
So it's just become like a fact of life around here. We just get used to it. But this last thunderstorm that we had was really, really bad because it was coming down for hours.
Wow.
And just the sewage, I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, I think was it your video that I saw? People were pulling things out of the drains.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're not going to buy a boat?
Yeah, I know, right? I should. I really should look into it.
I just imagine a little sort of, little hat and sort of umbrella and
Exactly.
going down Main Street.
Yeah, going down, yep.
Back to 1992.
Right.
And so him and Beth then move in together at this address in Rochester Hills in Michigan. And shortly after that, then he graduated in 1993. And then he moves closer to his job at Ford, doing product design and release engineering. Really big jobs,
right?
Which you always feel quite proud. Actually, I wondered why there was a point where they'd given him a sort of sabbatical, wasn't there? And they'd let him go off. I think that was in the sort of 2019 sort of area.
Right. Exactly.
And I thought, why would they let him go if he was that important? But actually, yeah, he actually was. So yeah, so then they move in together there. And then Gino in 1996 starts working for Vistion, one of these Ford spin-off companies. Right. Then we start to see them buying business premises. Or renting business premises. There's this one in Parkway Boulevard in Warren, Michigan. And then there's a connection later on with these business premises and this Beth person. So I'm wondering, therefore, if this Beth person has her own business. She's connected to libraries. So if we build a bit of an idea about her, what she did is she worked in libraries and sort of processing data and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So how they met in university is a bit uncertain. I'm not quite sure whether or not she was working in the library there at the time. He then starts to work for Chrysler a little bit later on, 1998. He was there for 4 years. Beth then moves closer to him in New Providence Way over in Canton. So she's now placed herself a lot closer to Gino. So we start now to see that it's kind of almost a reverse roles in that she is now holding on very closely to him and he's following his dream.
Right.
So we're starting to see that reverse pattern sort of going on.
Right, exactly.
After that, they move in together again in 1998, which is where we see a third person start to pop up, somebody called Virginia.
Okay.
And Virginia actually is also on the titles and she shares phone numbers with Beth. So there's a connection both to Beth and to Gino. So whether this person then is quite how they fit into it, I'm not quite sure. I've done a bit of research on this person, and they're a financial professional, but not very specific about that. So whether or not they help to organise or it's just a mutual friend, we're not quite sure. But she pops up again later on in the story. So she's quite interesting. They move in together at Harvard Lane in Canton, which is a private address. You can't actually Google map it into there. But I did manage to get an aerial shot there of that. Impressive graphics. I'm sure you'll imagine. But Gino leaves again then in 1999 over to a place called Ferris Avenue in Royal Oak. And then she moves in again. She follows him. But then they separate in 1999 at the same time then as Gino buys the house in where he is now in Grove Court in Canton, the one that we know and we see on the thing, the one that Jasmine and Matt had to move into for the show.
Yes,
and that house also is linked to this Virginia person. She pops up there.
Okay.
So again, we're seeing this Virginia person. Don't know who she is, but she's an interesting person. The house then was built in 1999. He buys it in 2000, but he doesn't move into it until 2003. Then they get a business premises in Las Vegas, which is a bit of an odd one. Have you ever heard anything of Gino in Las Vegas? Is that
no,
ever popped
not
up?
at all. This is the first time I'm hearing this.
Right. Well, he got this business address over in West Alexander Road in Las Vegas, which is kind of part of one of these sort of strip mall kind of places, which is quite interesting. Now, he has his name on that from 2000 to 2001, but in 2001, it passes to her. So she takes charge of this business address. When Gino's then goes to work for GM in 2002, then Beth moves back to Harvard Lane again, but in a slightly different place. It's a different house, but it's a single property, not a couple's sort of place. Then in 2003, this is where we start to hit the 90-day territory.
Right.
So in 2003, then Gino moves into his own place. She moves over to another address in Rosemary Avenue in Michigan. He then has to go to Brazil. He does 6-month contract, I believe it is, when he's there. And then he marries Denise in 2005. Now, really pissed Beth off. Now, the only reason we can tell that is because she now moves to Georgia. She moves way out of the state over to a place in North Spencer, in a teeny tiny little house. It's more like a double wide actually than the house. So it's quite interesting. So I think she's really pissed off.
Peace out. I'm out of here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, of course, we have that bit of time with Denise. We can kind of skip forward now to 2013. In 2013, of course, he finalizes the divorce with Denise, and then he starts to rent out his house. And, well, Denise stayed there for a while before she left, and then he starts renting it out again. And he lives in a place in East Franklin Drive. And at this point in time, Beth then gets another business premises out in Georgia, which is this one. It's a tiny weeny one. Again, these are very small premises. So what's been run from there, I don't know. It's, with a history of library related stuff, it's kind of like, well, what are you doing there? So there must be some sort of business. They've got some sort of business connection between the two of them.
Right.
Does that sound familiar to you? Have you heard of any business interest that Gino had or has?
No, I mean, all I've heard is he's just been really involved in his job at GM, that he really loved it. He basically, gave his job his all. And from what I understood, he was he was basically given an early retirement package because he was going to be downsized, like his department was being downsized. So they offered him an early retirement package, and that's what he's living off of, from what I understand.
Right. Interesting. Good stuff. See, this is why I got you on. You know this stuff. Because that's one of the reasons, because I was talking to you the other day. It's great to be able to bounce these thoughts off of somebody, because I do all this, research, but I'm never quite sure if I've got a nothing burger on my hands or if there's actually something in it.
No,
so I need a pro such as yourself.
Yeah, no, this is actually really interesting. Like, I'm trying to think in my head, like, what the connection could be and what business they could have, because I haven't really heard about Gino having any outside interest. You know what I mean? Besides in sugar babies, but that's a...
Well, that's the thing, because the first address is actually quite a big warehouse. It's a really large premises, but the other ones from there are a lot smaller. There's is it a Toyo? Are you familiar with these? I don't know if that's a restaurant. It says Toyo Japan.
Okay. Yes.
What is
that? It's like a franchise Japanese type restaurant.
Oh, like sushi or something.
Yeah, or like teriyaki stuff. Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Maybe they were buying franchises of something.
Yeah.
Maybe
but the thing is, because that was back in where were we? That's 2015, and I can't get anything on that. I was trying to see what businesses were there between 2005 to 2013 to see if there's any change of usage or anything like that applied for, but I can't see anything there. So that might be the thing, that actually she's got an interest in that, because on her LinkedIn, all it says is that she was a homemaker.
Okay.
Which tells me nothing, because that was on Gino's thing at the same time at one point.
Yeah.
So so that's kind of a mystery. I love this, building a picture of who this woman might be. But she's obviously, they're very, very close. In fact, at one point they had started to hyphenate each other's names. So at one point she changed her name, or was using the name Beth Polazzolo. So Beth Polazzolo Hawes and Beth Polazzolo Stokes. And there's been a few different accounts that have been used, which are called Gino Beth, his hyphenated name.
Interesting.
So there's clearly something. It's not just a casual business relationship,
Right. Yes.
We're on to 2017, and she moves back in again, and she moves into the house that he's at now, which again is also connected to this Virginia person.
Right.
And of course, that is the time where he starts to use his apps, as we know. Yeah. So she goes.
Got introduced to the apps, Lawd. That was it. He got introduced to the apps, and he fell down the rabbit hole. That was it.
Because I wonder then if that was one of the reasons why she left in the first place, when she moved off. Because when she moves in with her brother. Her brother owns one of these houses that she goes to. Yes, that's it. When in 2003, she moves in with her brother.
Okay.
That's when Gino moves into this Grove place originally, is when
Right.
she moves in with her brother. And again, that's a bit of a pattern too. She tends to rely on family. So
Right.
she's a family orientated person. She then moves back in with her brother when he starts using the apps, which I'm sure we can completely agree with that one.
Yes.
And of course, then Gino starts, starts doing that. Now she moves in to a huge house. Now I've got to show you this house because it is quite an interesting one. That is a big place. It's a very large place. So
Interesting.
this is brother's new house. Turns out that brother, where he was an owner and former operator for a train company. He was a train conductor, and then somehow he went from train conductor to owner. How do you do that?
Wow.
It's my question. I didn't know train conductors earned that much money. It
I
was
didn't know either.
bought. It was bought for 117,000, and it's now worth 675,000. So that's not bad. That's got the kind of luck that Juju's mum had.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I spoke to you about that, didn't I? We
Yes.
talked
That's
about that,
big.
where she was
Yes.
buying these houses for like
Yes.
100 grand or
Wow.
whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
People have some amazing luck with houses, don't they?
Yeah,
In
they
these TV
do.
shows.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
So she moves back with him. Gino then connects with Jasmine, as we know, from 2019. He returns to work with Ford because he needs some bloody money because he's
Right.
got a Jasmine living with him, which has got to be something. So then he goes back again to work for Faurecia. I think I'm probably butchering that name, Faurecia, 2021 to present day.
Right.
So there is our little package of lots and lots of information. So what do we think? Do we think now that he is going to go back to Beth? Because that seems to be the pattern. What do you think?
That does seem to be the pattern. And if Beth is available and down for it, I could see it totally happening. Because, like I said, Gino is the type of man that likes to stay within his comfort zone. And it looks like Beth has been part of his comfort zone since his college years.
Yeah, because he would have been, university age. I'm thinking what, 19?
Like 19, 20. You usually graduate when you're 21, 22.
And he, I believe, is 3 years older than her.
Okay.
So when they when they moved in together all that time ago, I think I'm not sure if she was actually at college because there's no records throughout any of the alumni of
Right.
her actually graduating from that college.
Okay.
Unless you pay. I'm not paying bloody money for the records between 2003 and 2000 whatever. No, 19 whatever it is. But
Right.
yeah, so there it is. I'm just wondering then if we're then going to see that. But then, or do you think that he is now going to have a collection of these sort of remnants of women? That we've got Beth, we've got Denise, we've got Jasmine as well. So, do you think that might be the case?
Honestly, I think that if Beth is the type that wants to be on TV, and if Gino approaches her and says, listen, as you know, I'm doing the show 90 Day Fiancé. Would you like to come on with me? We try this relationship again. I could see him going back to Beth. But I also know that when Jasmine and Gino were separated and Jasmine was living with Matt, and when all that was happening in real time, Gino was allegedly having conversations with different women in the DMs. He actually had a girlfriend for a short period of time. Her name is Kelly. She was a wonderful woman, but she couldn't deal with all of the drama that came with 90 Day. And she found out that Gino was basically being a dog and talking to other women and, telling her one thing and telling other women another. And then they all started comparing notes. So yeah.
That's quite some notebook you would have to keep.
Yeah, Gino got busted. I mean, so
But you would think that even just sort of simply watching the show, that they would kind of think, oh, there's a couple of red flags going on here. You know, more red flags than the Chinese Communist Party. You know,
Yeah,
that's sort of a
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I think Gino is going to go down the path that is the most easiest for him. Whether it's going back to this Beth woman and seeing you know, what her thoughts are, whether she would like to rekindle something where she is in life, because all we know, Beth could be married with like 8 kids. So, I think Gino would touch base with her, but also it's really easy for him just to pick up his phone, go on the Sugar Baby app, or just start. I'm sure there's tons of women in his DMs, and just start conversating and find one like that.
Yeah, let's liken him for a moment to Julius from Love After Lockup for a second.
Right, right.
Clearly, red flag central going on there, but we
Yes.
still see more women, fawning after him and thinking he's fantastic. Do you think that that's a case of sort of Julius syndrome?
Yes, and unfortunately, speaking as a woman, a lot of women think they could fix a man.
Do
If
you
I
think he's fixable?
who Gino, at this age, no. I
True,
think Gino,
true.
I think Gino is set in his ways. He is in his mid 50s. He's been doing things a certain thing a long time, and also because, in my opinion, I believe that he's on the spectrum. He is used to doing things a certain way, and he's been doing it for so many years, and he's not going to bend.
Mm,
There is
mm.
no fixing Gino. You just have to accept the package the way it is, slightly flawed and all. There is no fixing Gino.
Well, apparently his package needs a bit of help these days. So
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
I don't think would you. I mean, not would you personally, but who would want him after what Jasmine's kind of like been releasing and stuff about him?
I
So
know.
what do you make of? I'm a very cynical person. I really am. Do you think that a person such as Jasmine would fake having alopecia?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't buy it for a second. Actually.
I'll buy for a second. I'm sorry, I
Mm.
don't. And I actually get bashed a lot. A lot of people write really mean comments to me, but I'm going to stick with it. I believe everything Jasmine does is for attention,
Hmm.
to deflect from, what was shown on TV or what is actually happening. She will do things to deflect, and she takes every opportunity to drag Gino through the dirt.
Mm.
Every opportunity. So that is why I do not buy this. I am a healed person, and I talk in a softer voice because I'm healed, and I shaved my head because, I was losing my hair. I don't buy any of it.
No. No.
I don't buy
Absolutely.
any of it. Bullshit. And her actions on the first part of the tell all actually proved to me that she's not a changed person at all.
Mm. Because she claimed that she had always been advocating for alopecia rights. When? Where is this? Where is this?
Yeah,
She's
maybe
advocating for her OnlyFans. That's all I've seen.
maybe her first season she mentioned it a couple of times and drew it out there for the sympathy, and that was it.
Mm. I think also I think she's got a closer relationship with the producers than the producers would be comfortable with admitting.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And the way Sean was coddling her on the first part of the tell all. I mean, yes, she has a closer relationship with production than they would like to admit.
Yeah, yeah. See, I think that anybody that can quite happily abandon, okay, I'm going to say abandon because that's what it pretty much is. Anybody that can abandon, was it JC and Juan say?
Once say
Anyone who can
yes.
abandon 2 children can do fucking anything.
Yeah.
In my mind, so I wouldn't put it past her, and I just don't buy it. You see, there's a celebrity in England called Gail Porter,
Okay.
and she had alopecia and really struggled with it. She was a model, TV presenter, and then she went through all this alopecia, and
Right.
the difference between the two, even down to things like how her bald head looked once she went bald and things like
Right.
this.
Right.
It was totally different, totally different. And I don't think, and someone like her, I would not put it past her in order to, as you say, garnish that pity, act the victim,
Yeah.
because oh, woe is me, I've got this sort of thing. You know, she didn't even bother putting the kids on her visa application, and we all know that it takes at least 2 years, and it's harder to get the kids on if you don't do that. But
Yeah.
she willingly did that.
No,
And I wouldn't put it past her for a second. I think she's an awful person.
I don't buy this crap. Oh, Gino wouldn't let me. Gino didn't put them on the visa application. Gino. All I have to say is that Jasmine made sure that Coco the dog had all the proper paperwork to come into the U.S. So she
Yeah,
made sure that the dog had proper paperwork, but she didn't double check that her kids were on the
yeah,
paperwork. That's
yeah.
all I have to say. Priorities. Okay?
100%, 100%. So she alluded to, or kind of directly said, I haven't actually watched it, but she alluded to the fact that one of the cast members were trying to get her deported. Do you think that Gino's got it in him to get rid of the woman that he really loves and
Yeah.
can't shift from his mind? Do you think he's got that in him?
Oh, yes,
Right?
because he is a man scorned. He truly feels like Jasmine used him for a green card, and Jasmine never loved him. And he said it. He wants vengeance.
Right, right.
You
I
know.
just because I just wonder though if he would actually
Oh,
leave, like,
I could picture him being that petty and
right,
calling ice on Jasmine. Oh yes, definitely.
right. So I mean, how is that? I mean, I see bits of news about ICE and stuff like that at the moment. So is she? So I thought she was there like legally. I thought that she had the correct documentation,
She
or
does have the correct documentation, but from what I understand, it's the temporary one, and she has to go for an adjustment of status. And if
ah,
and I believe the 2 years is almost up for the adjustment of status, and then she has to apply for her permanent 10-year card. And if Gino doesn't sign off with her, then there's an issue, basically.
right.
And so she either has to do it divorced or with Gino. And Gino says that he's not going to divorce her because he doesn't want her to be able to get, her status extended.
Mm. And so,
So
what about
he's
Matt
very
Brannon, blah
excited.
blah blah blah, whatever his name is, Matt blah
Yes,
blah blah?
yes.
There's no role he could play in that.
Well, if Jasmine marries him, but according to Jasmine, she doesn't want to marry anyone ever again because she doesn't want to give that power over to
Mm.
someone. Because then what if 5 years from now Matt says you're only using me for a green card? She doesn't want to give anyone that power over her anymore.
Mm. Interesting,
Yes, this was
interesting stuff.
all on the tell all. Jasmine was so dramatic, you know, sobbing hysterically when they showed the flashback of Jasmine and Gino, and when Jasmine told Gino she was pregnant, and Gino's reaction during his confessional. Oh, Jasmine starts crying hysterical on stage. She's sobbing, the whole drama queen. And Gino just says, I'm not falling for the crocodile tears anymore. And then she turns them off.
Hmm. Yeah, and then threw a shoe. I was.
And that was last resort. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was the best. That was the best. When she came on stage and Rob basically called her a pregnant whore. I never
Yeah,
liked him better.
yeah, because I thought that was when Gino found out, you see, about the pregnancy. Oh,
Yeah, basically. I think that's when he found out when she came strutting in,
yeah.
all like 7 months pregnant at the last resort tell all, and everybody's jaws dropped.
Here's one last question. So, would you have been surprised if, when she waddled in, if backstage she just sort of pops out a fake belly? Would that take you by surprise at all?
No, it wouldn't. It took me the longest time to actually believe that Jasmine was pregnant. I kept telling my followers, I don't believe it. She's full of shit. She is
Yeah.
not pregnant. That is a fake belly. Until I see her actually give birth to a baby, I'm not going to believe it. I think it took until she was like 7 or 8 months pregnant for me to fully believe that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
I don't put anything past her. Even with her shaving her head, at first I saw just the picture and I said to myself, I bet you this is AI. And then I did a picture of myself bald using
I
AI.
saw that. Yeah.
Okay, right? Anybody could use AI. I swore for the longest time it was AI. And then I saw the video of Matt actually shaving her head. And
Right.
that's how it convinced me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
that
it's still weird. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm in camp disbelief. Yeah. I don't believe it.
I'm just waiting to see what her next trick, well, what she's gonna pull out of, because now she's this soft speaking cook on TikTok, cooking all these delicious dishes. I'm like, okay, so now we're a cooking influencer. Where did this come from? Did we see you cook on 90 Day? You try to make grits for Matt's mother and sister, and they were like all watery. I mean, where did this cooking Jasmine comes from? Like she just pulls certain personalities and tries them on to see whether followers are going to be receptive, or with her TikTok lives, how many gifts she's going to get. So,
Mhm.
oh, is my cooking getting me more gifts, or me, parading my baby in front of the camera? Because that's another thing, Lord. I just want to reach through because I feel like she should be protecting that precious baby from the internet. And honestly, I feel like she's pimping her out.
Hey, here's an idea. How about for her next trick? Baby stays here, she gets taken away. The next story is, oh, I'm so terribly upset about this one child that I've had. No, bugger, I've now got my
Right,
old two
exactly.
back
But where's the other two? Yeah,
here. Crazy, crazy.
too much, way too much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mary. It's an absolute pleasure, and I hope to do it again soon. So thank you very much, and have a
Thank
much
you for
pleasant evening.
having me. It's been my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming along for our little ride of speculation and intrigue, and I hope you'll be along to do it again soon. So, if you like what I do, then please do like, subscribe, and check out one of these little beauties. So, until we meet again, stay beautiful, love to my three, and you take care of yourself.